Hey, welcome to Long on Me by Jacqueline. It's another Top 5 Friday. Today we have broken out the colored pencils and we're going to go over some design ideas. And this week again, this is going to apply to those of you who make your own quilts and those of you who shop for custom quilts with a maker. So today we're going to talk about the I Spy quilt. And that is the quilt that's a game. You give this game quilt to your child, and then while you're there snuggling under the quilt, there's fun little images hidden in the quilt, and you can play I Spy with your child while they're using the quilt. So this is a fussy cut quilt, and that means if you have a specific image on the fabric, you are going to cut specifically around that image because that is what you want, sorry my tripod's slipping, to show up in the quilt. So you're trying to sort of frame out a particular part of that fabric. So because this is a fussy cut technique, it's going to work for snapshot quilts, it's going to work for memory quilts, and it's also going to work really well for signature and photo quilts. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. This is an in-progress snapshot quilt. So this little boy is 7 months old, and I have all of his clothes from when he was 0 to 6 months old, and we're creating a keepsake that's a snapshot of his time being that age and that size and in those clothes. So that's a great quilt to do when your children are finishing a big sporting season. Say they reached the playoffs and you want to commemorate that season and put all of their jerseys and t-shirts that commemorate that season in there. That is a great, at the end of elementary school, whenever your children reach one of those smaller graduations, end of middle school, end of high school, sort of that end of an era, when you want to capture how your child was during a particular event in their life and take a snapshot of that in clothing. And memory quilts, really the same thing as a snapshot quilt. Typically those are done when a person has passed away and you want to preserve and share their clothing with their loved ones. So snapshot quilt, memory quilt, same thing. Snapshot is a preserving just a time in a living person's life. And then signature and photo quilts, you can have photo fabric made whichever kind of way that you like. You know, it might be different family members, it might be different events through the year, just any photos that you like, and you're going to arrange those on the quilt. And in addition to the photo, instead of the photo, you can also have each family member sign the quilt, or each team member, say you've done a big ballet production and you want all the cast members, they all sign a block, and that gets made into a quilt, and you can give that to sort of the headmaster as a keepsake for the year. So all these fussy cutting techniques are going to apply. So let's get on with it. The top 5 creative ways to frame out an I Spy block in a quilt. So the first one, which is really cute, and this will work for a lot of different folks, is mason jars. So you make a cute mason jar block, and you can either sort of frame your I Spy in a square or without. And each of your little I Spy items would appear inside a mason jar. So here's number 4, hot air balloons. You could do a really cute, maybe blue or gray background for the sky, and then all kinds of beautiful hot air balloons. And again, you could frame your I Spy item inside this and have a scrappy or a solid piece of fabric for, you know, a single print or scrappy to make the rest of the hot air balloon, and you could have a lot of fun playing with that. My husband and I love the water, and I have done some really interesting sailboat blocks. So in your mainsail, you could have the entire mainsail be your fussy cut fabric, your I Spy fabric, or again, a square framed out. It kind of depends on what you're working with. Sometimes baby clothes are really small, so you take a block of that and frame it to make it look like it's part of the sail. If you have a larger piece of fabric, it can be the whole sail. All right, so that's number 3, creative way to frame out your I Spy block. Number 2, trucks and cars. So this is a quick sketch of a flatbed truck block. However, I've seen pickup trucks, sort of box trucks, fire trucks. There's all kinds of cool truck blocks that can be pieced in, and then your I Spy item is like the cargo of the truck. So if you've got a little one who loves heavy equipment, the trucks and cars I Spy quilt might be the one for them. All right, so we're down to 1. I'm gonna tell you, there's way more than 5 on this Top 5 Friday. Hearts is always a great choice, and this can be for children or adults. It can be for Valentine's Day. It can just be for anyone that you love. And same thing, you can frame out your I Spy fabric with either a scrappy or a single print or solid there, and have it sort of be a rectangle floating inside the heart, or the whole heart could be that I Spy fabric if you've got enough, if your image kind of fits. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. And we're moving into the bonus section. There were too many cute ideas for these I Spy quilts for me to just pick 5, so it's top however many I want Friday today. I thought this was adorable. Toadstools. If you have anyone who loves nature, your hikers, your backpackers, kids love little toadstools. A bright little fabric for the cap, a neutral for his little stem, and same thing, frame or have the whole toadstool cap be your I Spy fabric. And you say, I spy something red, and you could have little strawberries in there or whatever. So again, an I Spy fabric is images where you're going to play the game, so you want recognizable things that your child can readily name. So you want the whole strawberry in there so they can see it as a strawberry, and not sort of, if you had strawberry fabric and you didn't cut it to frame a strawberry, it would look kind of like abstract red texture but not be nameable. It might be beautiful, but they're not going to be able to spot that as a strawberry. Or if you did photos, you could say, I Spy Aunt Janet. All right, and 2 more bonuses because I can't help myself. Purses and handbags. There are a lot of cute little purse and handbags, and you could have an applique, purse strap, and embellishment. You could actually have that 3D, so the strap was not attached, or use a little gold lacing to make the little strap. I think would be adorable, and there's plenty of room in that purse to use your I Spy fabric or frame it in the purse. And there are so many cute flower blocks out there. A sunflower, a little daisy. So you could use any of the flower blocks that you like and make that large center your I Spy fabric. So that is my top 5 creative ways to frame an I Spy block. And remember, if you like any of these, any of your fussy cut quilts are going to look great in these. So if you just have images that you think are cute and you want to fussy cut and put in there, that's fine. Snapshot quilt of a specific time in your child's life, you want to capture those elementary school years or whatever it is. A memory quilt and a signature or photo quilt. That's going to represent your family or a team or some kind of group that's important to you. And that's it. There's a beautiful snapshot quilt. You can see that is fussy cutting. Each one of those inner blocks, we sort of centered and framed a specific part. In this case, it's baby clothes, so a lot of onesies and little t-shirts.